with something called lipid nanoparticles, and that's a problem.
He's
so
right. He's right.
There's hundreds of billions of those. Well, okay, so it contaminates the DNA. Now we have foreign DNA, and it's not integrating into the human genome. So in other words, it's not compliant with that person's genome or DNA. It's foreign. It's completely different, and it's causing major changes. So acknowledge to the risks of sequencing tests that could be done. Now, that person's DNA is not, it's like it's DNA. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. So what are the safety concerns when you have foreign invaders of a DNA type that get into the cell and that person's DNA, well, healthy human genes are being converted into, for example, cancer cells and other mutated types of cells that cause people to be really, really sick. It causes chromosomal instability. Our chromosomes, it's unique to us again, causes them to be unstable. And then how this integration into that cell could affect unintended parts of the body, like the heart, the brain, the lungs, the immune system, etc., etc., etc. Well, everybody strives to learn how to be as healthy as they could be. And I'm still getting calls today because people had, like myself and my wife, we got the bug. We had it badly, okay? But we survived it. Thank God that we survived it. And we overcame all of those symptoms that we dealt with when we were afflicted. But there are millions of people out there that have not properly rebounded, and they are still experiencing things like they're lethargic, they have a tremendous brain fog. They don't have the proper taste or smell like they did. They just don't feel as good as they did prior to being afflicted. And then there are many, many people who chose, because they felt it was the right thing to do, to take a jab or certain types of jabs, and they experienced side effects. Now, I'll end with this because I think people need to hear this. In the midst of all of that, and I'm getting, at that time in my career, I'm getting calls. I'm working 16, 18 hours a day trying to teach people what they could do to stop the damage and to feel better. I had a lady call me who was a nurse, and she was crying on the phone. She said, I got your number from so-and-so. She said, could you help me? I said, ma'am, I'll do the best I can. Talk to me. Tell me what's going on. And she said, my husband is a medical doctor. He is in ICU, and he's dying. And I said, in the cause? She said, well, he was forced, one of 4 doctors that works in a clinic, to do something that he did not want to do. And in order to keep his job, he complied. And he within an hour had a really bad reaction, and he's fighting for his life. And she said he's coming home. She said he is checking himself out of ICU, and he said if he's going to die, he's going to die at home. And I explained to her the science and what could be done. I said, if he can overcome what he's going through and you can overcome what you're going through, if you get your human genome to function correctly at youthful levels like you were 10 years of age, and the way you do that is to activate your cells and increase your gene expression. And we've got to do it, get the gene expression up as high as we can, increase the glutathione. And so, and she said, well, why is that important? How is it going to help him? I said, it's going to help you. You don't feel good. because you had you did the same thing that he did and complied, but you're doing better. She said, but I'm really sick. And I said, okay.
For the rest of
I said,
life.
if you get your genome and your cells and your DNA to function like you were 10 or 15 years of age, this is significant because your genes in medicine acquire something called cellular intelligence. Those genes will recognize any and all abnormal function in the genomic and cellular performance of your body. And if they detect something that's abnormally performing at the cellular level, the genes, if the cells are activated and the gene expression is high, and glutathione and superoxide dismutase and catalase and hemioxygenase are being produced. Those are the antioxidative enzymes at maximum levels to destroy or neutralize the free radicals, which is causing massive damage above and beyond the damage of the compliance of the action that they took. It's a double whammy. I said they don't stand a chance. However, if we increase the gene expression 15 to 1800%, which can happen in an hour, now the genes are back in control, and all that's going on that's wrong and bad, that's the doctors are telling him in ICU that he's not going to make it 24 hours, the genes will stop it and fix it and get that person's DNA and genome to get back into what's called homeostasis in medicine. That's more normal performance. So, to end this story, I said to her, you need to take three things. You need to get the Nrf1 protein to the cytoplasm and increase the production of the mitochondria to power up the performance of the genome. Number two, and most importantly, you need to get the Nrf2 protein from the receptor site outside the cell to the nucleus to activate the cells and increase the gene expression and get the genes to notice what's going on and stop everything and start repairing. Okay? And number three, we need to get the NAD activated, recirculated in the cells. He's older. He was 56 years old at the time. And I said, and in doing that, it will produce the sirtuins, which are anti-aging genes, which are diminished starting at 20 years of age. And without those genes, it's almost impossible to overcome what this man was going through. I said, if you both take these three formulations simultaneously together, in 1 hour, the glutathione level will be at 300%. The gene expression will be sharp. They'll know exactly what's going on and start issuing the commands. The gene, in 24 hours, your body and his body will neutralize 78% of what's causing the afflictions and the symptoms that they say is going to take him from you by death. And it'll stabilize your function. She said, how do I get it? And she said, I need it quickly. I said, we can get it to you first thing in the morning. And we ordered that sequence of nutrigenomic, medical, but natural formulas. And she took hers as soon as she got it. Okay, and he's on his way home. He's coming home in an ambulance. She already took hers. And this is now late afternoon. He says, where is it? Where's the pills? That's what he said to her. And she said, they're here. He said, get me some tea. He was very ill. She got him to bed. He said, I'm going to sleep. Don't worry. I'm going to sleep. I have to rest. He took what he was supposed to take, drank some tea, and went to sleep. The wife checked on him periodically through the night. She gets up the next morning, makes coffee, and 10 minutes later, the bedroom door opens, and her husband, the medical doctor, walks out of the bedroom and says, babe, what's for breakfast? Will, there is a way to regain your health totally. If people had the bug and they don't feel good yet, number one, they're being massively damaged by free radicals. In medicine, that's called age-related oxidative stress. That's what causes every disease known to man that doctors treat with medication and surgery. Go to PubMed.gov and you'll be able to see all of the research, peer-reviewed research articles that highlight oxidative stress, oxidative stress, oxidative stress. We need to stop that damage. And number two, get that person's genome, cells, and DNA to function like they were 10 again, so the genes can determine where the abnormal function is, and if it's too slow, get it to upregulate. If it's too fast, get it to downregulate. If they recognize damaged cells, well, okay, fix them. If they recognize damage or mutated DNA,